think we are working. Welcome to the beginning part of the video where we check to see if everything is working. Okay. Right, wait to see if chat comes up. And yeah, looks like it is. That looks like that's working as well. So we're all working today. Fantastic, great. Okay, hi, my name's Chris and this is my game Realm of the Empress. It's a single player fantasy adventure board game where you explore a large open area, in this case Port Ovis, do quests, learn and upgrade a variety of skills, and buy different weapons and armour to progress your character. There's also a main story that takes place in your dreams, and should hopefully act as a kind of hook to keep you wanting to play more and find out what happens. I'm going to be streaming, in this video series, I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of the whole game. Each video should be about an hour long, and the last playthrough I did was about 60 hours, so it should be quite a long series. I'm going to be streaming Monday to Thursday at 7 PM UK time every week for the next few months, so feel free to write a comment on any of the videos, or if you catch a live stream, write something in chat and ask any questions and provide some feedback or whatever. Really, that's kind of what I'm creating this for. I'm trying to get as much feedback as possible. Yeah, so I won't bother doing a big recap. I recommend watching the first video or watching the tutorial videos about how to set up the game and how to get going. It's very simple, but I'm not going to bother going too much into that now. We're on the 20th video in the playthrough. So I do have a bunch of quests on my custom tracker here. So each quest is a deck of cards labelled A to Z and numbered 1 to whatever the case may be, depending on how long or short the quests are. Some can be 1 card, some can be 20 cards. So you can due to the open nature of the game, you can just do a bunch of exploring and take on as many quests as you'd like, but the tracker just is for 10 at the moment. I think it's kind of good to have a little bit of a limit on it in some way or form. But yeah, so it's up to you how you want to play. If you want to have loads of quests on at the same time, or if you just want to do a few quests, make it a bit more manageable. Okay, so I've also got here where we left off last stream, which was last week, and we've got our character marker there, which is a 12-sided die. We've done 8 steps so far. Every 12 steps is 1/2 hour that we note on a tracker that I'll show later. So here's what one of the map cards looks like. They're mini cards, over 300 mini cards. In the top left corner is the number of the card you're on, which is 102 in this case. And then we've got numbers north, east, south and west if you wanted to go in those directions. So you just take the card you need, depending on which direction you want to go. Okay, so that's where we are. What we are going to do is we're going to try to do a few things today. We've got a quest on the go. We've got a few quests on the go. We've got a quest item here. This is our character board. We've got our equipment over here. We've got boar leather armor for everything at the moment. We've just got our oak shield equipped because a couple of streams ago we died and then were unfortunate enough that we didn't. There's a 50-50 chance of getting some kind of condition or not if you fall in combat. You don't actually die, you just fall in combat, and then innkeeper Merwin comes and finds you, and then you wake up the next day in the inn and you owe her 10 gold. So anyway, we died, we didn't do too well, so we rolled to get a broken arm, which means we can only hold one piece of equipment in one arm. So we've got either a short sword, which we got from a quest, or oak shield. So we've got an oak shield at the moment. We've got a satchel, which you get at the beginning of the game, so that gives you 35 slots. We use these 1/2-inch chits, square chits, but some are different shapes, like the bronze short sword, the pickaxe and axe and so on. So there's sort of real space inventory management there. We've got our quest items at the moment. We've got a puzzle box we're trying to figure out. We've got a dream deck. Like I said in the intro, there is a main story, it's your dreams, and you've got a chance to get those every time you sleep in a bed or bedroll. So we're on dream 4 at the moment out of 10, I believe. We did a quest where we paid for the inn a week at the end of the week instead of at the beginning of a week. So we did pay that off, but we are probably not going to have any money to pay for the new week coming. So the items we've got in here will have to go into our satchel. You can stack certain items up to 5 in the inventory, and it has double the amount of space as a satchel. But I think we'll be okay with a bit of space there. We might drop a few items. You can always just drop any items if you just want to free up a bit of space. The weather is okay at the moment. It can either be raining or okay. Animals won't come out in the woods if it's raining, which can be a good or bad thing depending on what you want to do. And then at the bottom corner here we've got Merwin's map, which is a quest item, and it's got a special spot here so we can refer back to it because it's the only map in the game. It's a hand-drawn map from a partially sighted older lady, so it's not 100% accurate, but it has the right things in there, roughly the right spaces. So we know if we want to go north, east, south and west. In this game you follow paths. They will lead to buildings, and in the buildings are all the characters. So if you ever get lost, you just find a path and you'll come across something, hopefully. So because we've got only one arm to use, we're not trying not to get into too much combat. I'll show you our tracker. We managed to upgrade our leather armor last room. We chose to do that instead of paying for the inn, so I can show off how the wild camping works. So here at the top left we've got the time of day. We're on 18.5 hours, so that's what, 9 hours. And then there's a night tracker as well. We've got a morality system, so you can steal if you want to in this game, that kind of thing. You lose morality for that, for attempting to do things like that. We've got a skills tracker. We're at level 2 cooking and level 1 a bunch of other skills. The in payment I've changed to be per day now, instead of it was just a yes or no before. So now you can just pay at the inn on any specific day, and it's 7 days you're paying for, or just 1 day at a time. 10 gold for 1 day each, or 50 gold for 7 days altogether. So you save a bit of gold if you do that. Then we've got the day of the week, which is the last day of the first week for us. So at the end of today it'll be the week 2 of the game. And then you can see at the bottom we've got our armor. We're doing a whole leather build, and we've upgraded our body to 3 and our legs to 2. We don't want to you can upgrade everything, but we're just using boar leather armor, which is the sort of the bog standard one, the less good one essentially. So you want to think about how much you want to upgrade it before you buy bear armor, which is the next one, and then perhaps even wolf leather armor after that. But the value does add up if you upgrade the skills, if you upgrade the armor, so it's not like you're losing too much really. Right, after all of that, what we're doing is we are finishing off a quest with Rodrin's puzzle box. Rodrin is the wood shop. He's the carpenter, that's what he is. He's made a puzzle. We took it to the tailor, who is Zilchek, who normally likes doing them, but this time he couldn't do it, so we've taken it. And the idea would be you go around trying to find someone you think is smarter than the tailor who can do it. So I know obviously who it is, but you know, the idea would be you'll be walking around a little bit trying to find people. So for the sake of the stream, I'm just going to go, we're going to go up to GA. He is up at the observatory, so we're going to go sort of up there. Then because we're doing wild sleeping, there is a chance when we wild sleep of being attacked at night. So you divide your hours into guard hours or sleep hours. And so the more guard hours you have, the higher the percentage of not being attacked. But you lose on the sleep. When you sleep you get extra health points, but you can only have a max of 3 hours sleep if you don't have a bedroll or bed to sleep in. Wild sleep, you can only have a bedroll, and we can have a look at how much that's going to cost, and we can get more. So the bedroll, I think that's going to be, so here we've got our characters. At the back of the characters we've got shops, so Erith I think might sell the bedroll. He is our shopkeeper. So let's have a quick look on the back here. So does he have a bedrock? Yes, he does. 20 gold. Right. We also need to get the main important thing is to get stuff for the fire. So we need a flintstone from the smithy, and we need some kindling from the wood shop. Because if we are attacked with a fire, so when we roll a 6-sided die, it's only on a 6 that we get attacked by bandits. 1 to 5 you're safe, but if you don't have a fire, it's 1 to 3 you're safe, and then a 4-5 is bandits and a 6 is a night stalker. So you only got a 50-50 chance. So what we want to do is get a fire so we don't have to worry about that. At least we don't want to get in a fight in the middle of the night. So that's the plan. So we're going to go east and then north and around. So we'll see how we get on. We're probably going to want to start. Probably going to have to tidy away some things anyway. So here are our map cards, over 300 divided into 50s, groups of 50. So we want 101. Yeah. So I'm going to have to pop around this side. 101 and then 100. Oh, then we need to go down. So we'll change to a different map group. Let's put these there. So that's 8, 9, 10 steps. We'll do 199. So we'll take these. Okay. Let's go along a bit, and then we want to go up. Let's go up from 80. From there, let's go 84. So that's 10, 11, 12, 1. So that's a half hour used up already. So what we do is we mark that on our tracker. So we've still got quite a lot of time in this day, but so moving around, just walking, doesn't take up too much time. But when you start doing skills and earning gold and doing quests, sometimes the time will go a bit quicker. So there's not a it's not really a big problem for going at night, but it's a bit more dangerous because of bandits and night stalkers, which are these creepy creatures who roam about at night, but you can always flee combat. So we want 84 to go north a little bit, then 85, and then we want to go up from there. We want 36, so that's going to be 2, 3 steps. Oh no, we can go back around. So if you follow the map, we go around this little thing here. 3, 4 actually. And then we want to go north from here, which is 37. Let's get 37. So going east to west or west to east is always going to be sequential with the map cards. 37. Okay. Then we want to go 38, 39, then north to 22. So let's do that for 5, 6, 7. Then 22. Okay, yeah, there's the observatory. So we have been here before a while ago. This is where a guy called GA is. He's actually a scholar, so it makes sense if you've met him before to go up to find him, but he is a bit out of the way, so hopefully it encourages you to explore beyond sort of the main strip of Port Ovis, if you will. There's a path where most of the shops are, but hopefully this takes you a bit off the beaten path. So when we come to a map card with a building on it, we go to the buildings deck to see who is in that building. So 7, 8. So this is map card 22. So we have a buildings deck, list of all the buildings. They've got numbers on the back. So we look for 22, which is, there are 2 for 22. Sometimes there's more than one. Keep these in order is always a good idea. flip them over, and we've got GA's house and the observatory as two separate buildings we can go into. So the reason why it's gridded is because you can do some sneaking and stealing from the items. So X is box, C is cabinet, D is for drawers, B for bookcase, that kind of thing. So GA is in his house. So what we can do is go and find his character card. So we could go into the observatory and do some stealing without him being there if we wanted to, but you lose morality, and the only way of getting morality back is by doing quests, which are finite. So you want to be careful, and there are worse and worse consequences for having less and less morality, really. So we'll maybe look into that a bit later on. So GA is who we're looking for. We had a look in the buildings deck, so we know who is there, and then we look in the character deck and find the character and see what quests they're part of, or what they sell in the shop if they are a shop as well. So here's GA. All the character cards are the same with a picture, the name in the top, the quests they're a part of. He's part of quite a lot, but you could only you can't start a quest in the middle of it. You have to find number 1 for the letter. So we could do P1 with him. We are doing J with him, so we'll have a look at that. They've also got an intimidation and a sneak level and an amount of gold on them. You can pickpocket characters for the gold if you want to. And then we've got on the right, the coloured in squares are for the persuasion skill, which I believe, yes, he teaches. So that's a way of getting half price off various items from the shops, which are divided into cheap, middle and expensive items. So he doesn't have any expensive items, that's what the X is for, and he sells star signs for 10 gold. That is, he will do a star sign for you, which you want to try to do today, in today's stream. We need to get back to him at night for that, so that's what the quest is. We'll do that. And every skill, this one is persuasion, is 25 gold to level up each one. Persuasion, you buy the individual cards. So we are doing quest GA. So we take that out of our quest tracker. We did J4, which is yield check, talking to the tailor. He said, I've not been able to solve the riddle. Would you fancy a go at it? And then the only thing I asked is that if you solve it, show me how you did it. So we took the quest item J2, and then we obviously can't solve it ourselves because it's just a picture on a card. So what we do is we find someone in game who can help us. So what we're doing is we're going up to the scholar at the observatory to see if he can help us. He does have J5. And he also has J8, so we have a little look at what he says. GA. So he says, yes, very impressive indeed. May I? Thank you. Then we lose quest item J2. That is the quest item here, Rodrin's puzzle box. Don't know if that's going to focus. Here's the puzzle box. So we lose that. He has taken it off us to have a little go at it. So we continue what he has to say. Now if I yes, like this, then a little adjustment here, then here, and then no, a little readjustment, yes, then clockwise, in fact, indeed, then just a nudge there, and then simply wonderful, fascinating device. Now what is this hidden inside? A miniature treasure chest, quite intricately designed too. A marvel, that Rodrin is, truly. Well, here, I'll let you take this back to Zielczek. He'll no doubt be extremely interested in its contents. Take quest item J5. So he has managed to open up the book, the box, not the book, and what did you say? J5. So what we do is we swap J2. We don't use that anymore. We put that and go to the back of our quest items deck. And then our quest items, similar to the buildings decks, will have numbers correlating to the quests. So J5 is right there. So we'll have a look at J5. So it says a small carved chest. So this is what was inside of the puzzle box that GA found. So he's giving it back to us. Yeah, he's a nice man. He's just going to give it back. He's had fun solving the puzzle. We're going to take this back to Zilchek at some point. So that will go into our quest items space. So that's that bit done. We can always come back to that. The idea is that because they're all made up of different cards, once you've done a bit of the card before going to the next one, you can have as much time in between as you like, really, for the most part. So that's J5. We'll put that back in our tracker. And now GA does have P1, so I wanted to have a little look at that as well. So we've got a whole heap of quest cards here. They go from A to Z, like I said, so, and some of them are quite long. But P is quite a short one. It is 2 quests. So you take both of them, flip it over, it should be P1 at the top. Put the rest back. So we take P1 and see what GA has to say. So it matches the quests on his card, so we can double check we've got the right one. So what does he say? Hello, adventurer. Would you care to learn about the stars in the night sky? There are many mysteries to learn from them. Fantastic. You see, even though they look like tiny specks of light, they are in fact great giants of fire. They are also indeed arranged, so to speak, for us to not only see, but to interpret. Fascinating to study their movements. Oh yes, they do move, adventurer, through the dark void. Alas, they can only be seen once the sun has dropped. So return at night and I can unleash their knowledge to you. So he's very enthusiastic about the stars. So he says, come back at night. And I can unleash their knowledge. So that sounds exciting. We want to try to do that. So that will go into my quest tracker as a new quest to track, and hopefully we remember and can come back to that. So our main thing now, so we've done that with him, put the cards back. What we want to do, we know we're going to be sleeping out in the wild, so we need to go to the wood shop. So on the way, I'll show you where that is on Merwin's map. Actually, it's the opposite end of the map, which is a bit annoying. So hit the observatories up top right. We could go back down and then along the strip over to the through the shops and along, but I want to go up the top area. There's a bit of a cliff that separates the two areas. You can't go up and down cliffs sides, which makes sense hopefully. Bushes are also barriers, and you can't swim in this game at the moment anyway. So the reason why I want to go along the top is because I know from before that there's some foraging to be done there, and I've only got 1 worms for fishing, and I want to get some crickets, and we've got to be wary of beehives, which we keep getting on them, but we're going to do that and go along. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get it all the way along, but that's okay. So we want 21, and then we're going to go along, I think, and try to find these foraging spots to try to get some foraging stuff. Foraging is a free node. All nodes will reset if after having 5 hours of sleep. So we need to try to remember this really, because the nodes will not reset after we sleep for the night this time, because we are not going to have, and there's a node, I'll show you what the node looks like. We're not going to have 5 hours sleep unless we have a bedroll. We could buy a bedroll, but we should go, we have to go back to, we finished, how much have we got? We got 16 gold at the moment. I've got a little tracker for that, but we're also using Chinese fortune coins just to add a bit of fun to the game. And we've got a real coin purse to keep our coins in. So I think that just makes it a bit more fun really. So we need to remember to go back to Zilchek to finish off that quest. We'll get, I think, 10 gold from that. Usually get 10 or 20 gold for most quests, depending on how long they are. So I was going to show, here's what a foraging node looks like on the map card. So yeah, I will have a system for, I do have a system for showing which nodes we've used, but we need to have a tracker of all the nodes that I haven't done yet, similar to these, where we can just put a pin in the ones we've done. Right, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 steps. So that's almost another half hour. One more step and it will be. We're going to do foraging, which is very simple. It's not much of a mini game. It's just shuffle some cards and pick 2. You don't get things that are super interesting, but they can be quite useful with the foraging, like with the crickets for fishing. You mainly get ingredients that are good from the foraging. And we get stuff that's good for poisons later on, which we will do. That's part of the reason why I'm doing a leather build, to see how this works. So 1, 2, every time I get a bee swarm, there are only 3 in there, and there are lots and lots of cards, but I still keep getting bee swarms. Right, we get a dart frog, which is no use because it requires a bottle to catch, and they only come out in the rain, which you can't probably see because it's in pencil. So some animals will only come out in the rain as well. So right, that was not helpful. We'll use our little chit to say that we have done that one. We're going to encounter a bee swarm, which we've encountered quite a lot of, but we would be okay if we had any health, and if we have both the use of both of our arms, which we don't have. So every creature has their own deck of cards, which are attacks and blocks and misses and things like that, and then they all have their own information card, which tells you how much health they've got and what special attacks they do. So these end of turn ones should say end of round. They're going to swarm, which is a bad attack, and then the loot at the bottom. They've got a sneak level. We do have sneak. Our species has every species you start the game with will have a combat and a skill bonus. The one we chose has a sneak bonus, so we start with sneak, but we can't out sneak these guys because we haven't leveled it up, which is only a 6-sided die. On the back we've got 2 rectangles, which are card symbols. That indicates that we reshuffle at the end of 2 rounds everyone's cards. Well, we are hoping we're going to flee straight away. We're going to use our oak shield, which is only 2 cards. That's saying we can block 6 with this. So we'll see how much health we got. 10 health, so let's hope we can just not take too much damage. Our combat bonus with our species is that we can turn any of our attacks or blocks into an initiative, which is good, because an initiative would normally give the enemy an extra go and can only be countered by another initiative. It's just a sting. We are lucky, we will block that. Normally you'll take 4 cards in your hand at the beginning of each turn. There are 3 turns for every round, but we're just going to block that 2, nice and easy. We were lucky we didn't get a blind or a swarm, which is bad. So we did well there, we didn't get anything. We'll keep those out, because who knows, we'll probably get attacked again. We want to do some more foraging around here. 43 we want. 43, where are you? There it is. There's another one there. So we will do this one too. So we will move. That is now half an hour used up. There's a 1. So this is quite good because it's not using up too much time. And it's a free node. Things like mining and fishing take up quite a lot of time. Logging doesn't take up too much time, but you don't get a lot of gold from it. Although in fairness you get more gold. Crickets, yes! Slug is another one that needs a bottle and only in rain, so we don't really use a slug. But we did get crickets, only 1 set of crickets, but that's okay. Crickets are a lot better than worms for fishing. And this is the only way, I think, to get them here. You can buy worms, but crickets you have to forage for and get. There they are. You can also get maggots, which are the best for fishing, but you only get those from killing night stalkers. We might be able to do some killing of night stalkers soon. Because we upgraded our armor, so we might be able to do that. Alright, that's good. Bit of foraging. We've got some crickets. That's all we want. Okay. Did not get attacked by any bees. We have used up that node. We're going to continue. 44. Also has one. Very good. Remove. That's number 2. So this one's got a burnt building on it that we can turn into our player house later on. Well, you need a lot of resources and gold to do that, so it's a later goal to do with the Rodrin at the woodshop. 1, 2. Another bee swarm. Of course. What's the forage without a bee swarm? We do get some worms this time. I should keep these out. We're doing some foraging. These are all the foraging chits. Worms. Ah, another bee swarm, of course. Okay, so that goes in our satchel. And that goes randomly back in there. We get our bee swarm out again. And we give them a shuffle. And we hope we're lucky with what we get. Put that on there. Oh, that's not good. That's a swarm. Oh, it does 5 damage. That's okay, actually. It only does 5 damage. So that is an initiative, which can only be countered by another initiative card, which would definitely have us stuck, except for our species combat bonus, which is saving us there. Otherwise we'd take that 5. Again, we'd use our block. So you take the 4, but there are only 2 cards in this instance, so we block that. So that's okay, actually. We can block its hardest attack, so I'm not that scared of bee swarms anymore. I think our first death was from a bee swarm, so getting a bit of vengeance is feels good. 45, we've got 2 more. We're still on the quest for crickets. That's 3 steps. One, 2. Bee swarm again. Black thorns. So that's something that we're not quite sure what they're used for yet. But everything is useful. So we can keep a hold of some of those. We've got quite a lot of black thorns actually. I don't know, maybe do we want to, we need to make some more chits for all this kind of stuff really. We'll keep a hold of that. We got a bee swarm. So we take the bees, we shuffle the cards. We know we're going to do that 6 block, so it's just a question. I haven't said that. Yeah, I think it's not a foregone conclusion that we're always gonna. There's a 2. What's their worst thing they could do? I think maybe it's if the swarm's only 5 damage, we can always block that. Yeah, if they do a blind, yeah, I think we can always. We're okay with the bee swarm now. I don't think we even need those out anymore. For the bee swarm, we can always block it because we've got the oak shield and we got that thing where we can change our attacks into initiative. So I think we can always just run away from bee swarms now. So that means that foraging is always going to be safe for us, which is good, very good. The combat bonus is only once per combat. So if we've got 2 bee swarms from foraging, which could happen, hasn't happened yet, then we would be. Actually, there'll still be 2 separate combats, so we should. Yeah, we'll still be fine. We'll still be fine. Oh, crickets again! Yes, and dead leaves this time. We want the crickets. Do I want dead leaves? I mean, I guess we keep these things until they become a burden. Dead leaves. Yeah. So I can't remember what these things are all for. Right. Okay, so that's both of those done. 46. There's another one. So let's see, there's a lot of foraging up here, that's why I wanted to come up here. Trying to get some crickets. And then, can we go? There's a bit of a gap there. Yeah, so these bushes you couldn't go through normally. We can go up around. So what we're doing here is still on this side, technically. We'll do another forage. A slug, which we can't do anything with. Gnarled roots. We can get some of those if we want them. So I guess we'd have to have the most amount of chips for foraging because it's a free node after all. And you want to keep a hold of these things, but if, yeah, once we lose the inn, which we will do, we're going to have all those items in our satchel, which will take up a fair bit of space. Right, I think we can keep going. We can go up and around there, yeah we can. 47. Let's keep going west. There are some apples here. Oh. Do we want those apples? Oh, they're apples? Yeah, they're apples once. How many apples we got? With 5 apples you can pay some money to get a pie made, which would be good. Yeah, okay. So we're done foraging. We got 2 crickets, which is not bad. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes. Well, it's quite bad, I suppose. Apples. Where are they going to be? In the food one, I think. Let's grab the apples. Let's grab the apples. There they are. So it's any map card that has any amount of apple trees on it, you only ever get 1 apple chit, otherwise you'd have millions of apples really. So this one has got a lot of trees, but you only get 1, but the one I'm on at the moment only has 1 tree or 2 trees, but you still get 1, so hopefully it kind of evens out a little bit. So I get 2 apples from this one, and then that's 5 steps. So I get 2 apples. Once we, like I said, once we have 5, we can spend some gold to make an apple pie, which restores 10 health each. So that's really good. So let's go along the 48, see if there are any more apples trees. Yes, there's 1 on there too, so we can grab 1 from that too. Then we want to keep going west, and we're going to drop. Actually, we're not going to drop down because we're going to the wood shop, which is still on this side of thing. Right, so we get another apple. So that's 6. So we've also used the apple trees 1, 2, and 3. So we continue along 49. And then 50. Get rid of these foraging cards. Okay, so 6, 7, 8. Where are we? 51, 52. Right, you can see we're running out of space here, we've gone all the way along, so what we're going to do is move our character 9, 10, 11 steps, and then, like I said, for the moment we're going to have to just remember that we use these nodes. I will have to make a tracker system for all these nodes, I've realised, so it stays, because yeah, we're not going to be able to sleep for 5 hours, so we have to remember that we've used all these foraging nodes and the apple tree nodes. Just have to do our best there. So 52, 51 we'll take, and they can go back on here. So like I said, going east to west, west to east is always sequential, so we can take all of these ones and put them together. So this is 41 to 50. So this is how you'd pack up the game, and my table area is quite small for and the video area is quite small, so that's why I'm having to do this now, whereas if I were to use the whole table, which is a fair bit bigger, I could probably put the whole map out, but that's okay. So this is a single player game, you're not supposed to be rushing anywhere, so this idea of sort of putting map cards away and bring them back out again hopefully shouldn't deter you too much. It's quite straightforward, simple, once you realise that going east to west is sequential. 37, and then you just put them in the right map card area. 40, 41, and then these other ones are 97, 84, 84, 97 to 100, and then 101. So there we go, it didn't take too long, I don't think. So we're now going to go along and down, so we want 54. Do we go south from there? Well, we're quite high up, yeah, we want to go south, 67. 67. Yeah, and then so let's go, yeah, 66, 5, 4, and then south. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. That's another half hour done. Still got lots of time. 7.5 hours left of the day, so almost half of the time still left. 117. $118. 1, 2, 3 is the wood shop. No, it's not. 1, 2, 2 is the wood shop. There it is. Okay. So come down here. I think we've got a bit of space. I'm going to move it a little bit further over and up just to kind of create a bit more space for where we're going to go next. Okay. So for 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. So this is the wood shop. I know it's the wood shop. We came here to buy kindling. So we'll have a look. I'm just trying to remember. Sarah? No, you're the farmer's wife. Tam's farmer. Try to remember who's who. There's Rodwin. Does he sell kindling? Yes, he does. So here's Rodwin, the carpenter, and on the back of him he's got some kindling for 5. It was going to be 10, I've changed it to 5. It seems like a lot of money for just some kindling. So it's now 5 gold, so we're going to buy some kindling for 5 gold. We're going to lose 5. The flintstone is 10. We've got just enough. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our coin purse is rather light. Yeah. Right, kindling. It's in here. Just grab one of those. I don't think. Just check if the flintstone is in here. No, charcoal is what you get from making a fire. The fire lasts as long as you need it to on the same map card. So as soon as you move off the map card that you made the fire on, that fire goes out, and you have to make a new one if you want another fire. Did I want this kindling? I thought I got kindling from a quest. I think we dropped that on something else. Right, kindling. Good. Want that. Right, we've got the kindling. Yeah, so also you can just say, once you've got all you need from the fire, instead of moving from the map card, you just say, I've done with the fire, it goes out, then you see what if you get any charcoal or not from it. Right, so that's that. We've still got plenty of time. We want to go to the smithy next. So we're going to go back the way we came, because there's a cliff face comes down here, so we need to go up and down and back down again. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 3. That's another half hour. 7 hours left of the day. So we want 68. So the way we get up and down this cliffside is either at the way we came round before at the beginning, or there's also a stone stairway sort of cut into the cliffside, which I think is kind of cool. So this is if you want to come down this side. So it goes there. Then do we want to do anything at the farm? We don't have enough. We've got raw meat, but the only person who can cook our raw meat for us is Orod, who's right down south. Can't do that. So no, we can't do anything else. We're going to go to 113. So that's 4 going down the steps. 113, and then we come down this way. So 113. Oh, there's some foraging to be done there. Do I want to do some more foraging? I don't think I do. Well, might as well. Actually, we've got no risk to us anymore because we've got the block of 6, and we've got our species. Dart frog, which we can't use, and dead leaves. Do I want to pick up more dead leaves? Do I want dead leaves? Do I care? I think they're clogging up my inventory a little bit. I'm not going to bother taking them, because I'm conscious of the fact I'm going to have loads of dead leaves. I've got 3 stacked in the inventory. So I'm going to have to put 7. So here's what my inventory looks like. Here's my satchel. Here's what I got in the inventory. I've got 4 things. So the only useful things really at the moment are these are from foraging. We've got 5 things from foraging, a bunch of stuff from foraging here. I know it's good for poisons later on, but I don't know when I'm going to need to use them. I don't even have any money at the moment, so that's not really the top of my list of priorities. 128. It's not at the top of my priority list, unfortunately. I think we can cut across and down. We can do a little bit of a scenic route. 26. Let's go one more to 125. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9 steps. And I think it's south from here. 175, 75. Yes, perfect. We could do some mining, but it takes up a lot of time mining. We don't want to run out of time today, especially because it's the last day of the week in game. So that's 10 steps. Right, we're going to talk to Owen, who we know is here with his dad, Gallard. So we find Owen. There is the child. Now here's a little picture of him. He's going to sell us the flintstone. So unlike the kindling, it is forever once you have it. So it's it's a good buy, I think. So it's only 10 gold. Don't know if that's going to focus. It's only 10 gold, and we've got it forever. Flintstone. I'm not 100% sure. I made a chit for the Flintstone, so you're going to have to bear with me to see if I can find one, or we'll just have to use something else. I don't know. What I might just do. I did. Flintstone. Fantastic. So here we've got a few different things. There's a big chit cooking pot, takes up 4 spaces. Don't know if you can see that. And then there's a big one. I made that 4. So there's a bit of inventory management. If you want a cooking pot, that's going to take up quite a lot of space in your satchel. You cannot upgrade the satchel. I did have upgrading to begin with, but then I realised I want to make more games and I want to have upgrades in those games, and there's a progression system to be aware of. So that's good. At least I found. Let's just keep the kindling one out. That's also got charcoal just in case we get that. So we've got a Flintstone. We want to keep a hold of that. Let's put that there. Satchel is getting a bit packed. That's okay. Right. So we're good for night now. So that's all right. That's all right. So how much time we got? 10 minutes. That's fine. So what we want to do is we're going to go over and finish off the quest J. So we're going to Zielczek. So we can always come back and do mining. So let's go up 11, 12, 1, 2. 2. That's half an hour. Okay, when we continue east, 129. So we'll get 129. Here's a path, which is what we want. 130, so we're going to go up here. So there's the pub. So we look at Merwin's map. We can see where the pub is. The Old Lamb is called, and we want the tailor. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 in 1, 2, 3, 2. You'll see. So that is up to the inn. Then we want to go. Oh my God, there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a foraging node on that as well. It's going to be the foraging stream. Right, so that's quite a way to walk. Let's just do that. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's taken us almost half an hour to walk along there. Let's do the foraging. See if we get a cricket. See if we get a cricket. Come on now. Give us a cricket. No. Both useless. Slug and dead leaves. I mean, like I said, dead leaves are going to be useful. Slug is useful, but just not now. So we're not going to bother with that. But the node has been used, regardless of if we keep the things or not. 103. We're going to go north. That should be the tailor. So that's 1.5 hour. Done. Okay. Got 6 hours left on our day. 16-hour day. We're fine. Right, 103. Let's double check we're in the right place first. Let's get our buildings deck out. 103 is the tailors. That is going to be Zielczek and Taneb. We're just talking to Zielczek at the moment. Zielczek is the tailor. He also sells needles, and we can learn the lock picking skill from him. Now, come to think of it, that might be from this quest. I can't remember. It might be from this quest. Unlocking the lockpick skill. Right, so we've gone back after GA J6. Let's have a little look at, double check that Zilchek is our man. Here he is. Does he have J6? He does have J6. Good. Right. Let's see what Zilchek has to say. Aha! Now look at this. The puzzle has been achieved. And what's this? Within it was this little trinket. No, there's a lock to it. I can show you a trick to this, friend. Simply take a needle, like so. Insert and twist just so. Another turn like this, then the snap of pure satisfaction. How extraordinary! A paper crane! Rodrin has guessed my youth. A majestic bird, the crane, found only in the Broken Isles, my birthplace, many leagues beyond here. Home also of the art of folding paper. But to get the special type of paper too, I must visit him to discuss this. Now, you've cracked the code. You must have its reward. Take quest item J6. And then it says at the bottom, to tell Zilchek the truth, take J7. So here's an option we've got in the game. We can just take quest item, should say also lose quest item, I think probably J5. We don't need that anymore. So, well, maybe, I guess he's just taken that. So we'll just have a look for J6 is there. So let's keep that out. So what has he said? So he said he's guessed his youth. This is from his birthplace, the Broken Isles. So you don't know what that is yet, but it's the idea that, maybe one day we'll go there. So here we've got the paper crane. So he says, home of the art of folding paper. Now you've cracked the code, you must have its reward. So I guess we would keep take item J6, which is this, and I'm guessing we would have to lose J5. Well, I guess we'd keep both, and the idea is that was inside of that, so I guess you could keep both. Anyway, so we've got that, but so we could just take that and be done with it. But we're not going to learn the skill if we do that. So we want to tell him the truth. So we take J7, and the idea is we've told him, look, we went to the GA, I couldn't do it, he did it for us. Okay, so as Zilchek says, indeed, you could not solve it either. GA, aha, of course, the scholar himself is alone in solving such workmanship as this. My thanks for telling the truth, friend. You have a good heart. Please take the crane anyway as a memory. Take quest card J6. And then it says, learn skill lockpicking, level 1. We've learnt lockpicking, which is a good skill to use. So we would keep that. But at the moment, they've got no actual value. There's no reason to keep them. So we'll put them at the back of the quest items deck. That is the end of quest. Oh, it's not the end of quest. There is another one in there. So let's learn the skill. So here's our tracker. Here are my fancy pins. We are using the bright green ones for the skills. There we go. So we have now learnt lockpicking. Level 1. That's all of the skills learnt now, with the exception of one, which is a special kind of one, really, traversal. Let's have a look, I'll show you. So we have now unlocked at least all of the skills at the end of the first week of exploration. We leveled up our cooking one because we wanted to focus on that because eating food is the main way of getting your health back in this game, so you want to level that up quite soon. Traversal is only, if you can see that, it's only level 1. So there are 2 nodes, there are 2 points on the map that you can drop down a cliff or climb up a cliff if you've got a rope, but you also need to have this traversal skill unlocked. And you just pay for that. It costs, I think, I don't know how much it costs actually. I have to double check. You have to pay for it anyway. Anyway, we've unlocked all of the skills. Lockpicking is a good one because I think it's a 50-50 chance on all found chests, treasure chests, that they're locked or not. And the lock picking skill uses a combination of coloured dice, and you're trying to match a colour code that you pull randomly from a deck of cards, and then you can upgrade it to make it so you're more likely to get to unlock it. So that was J7. That's essentially the end of the quest, but if you were to have a look at it, you would notice there is a J8 afterwards. If you were to see it, you say, okay, where's another one there? And then you maybe think, who do I go to then? Well, G8 is our man here. You can have a look at him. Maybe you go back and tell him that you unlocked it and this was inside. So he does have J8 there. So we could go back to you. We are basically up for time. So we've ended up right back where we started, funnily enough. Yeah, we've gone around a big circle all the way around the top and then back down again. We didn't manage to get to night. There's a lot. I mean, an hour goes so quickly when you play this game, which is what I like. You get a bit sidetracked, you do some stuff. We have got a lot of stuff in our satchel. I'll show you there. We're going to get all this stuff. Well, I think maybe just the rope and the moonstone to go in there. Might get rid of these other things from foraging. And we've got to try to remember all the stuff that we have foraged. I mean, we've foraged, I think, almost every place, so it's hopefully quite easy to remember that. And the apple trees at the top. Probably not going to need to do that. So next stream, yeah, we will. Well, we'll have to sleep. We'll do the wild sleeping, and at the beginning of the night, we'll go back to CGA, finish off Quest J, and talk to him about the stars and see what that's all about. So we're going to pack up, and I'll show you how quickly that is, how that can be done, and yeah, that'll be it really. Right, so they come from here. So because these are all in sequence, it's quite easy just to pick them up, create a little pile of them, put them back in the right place. So there are a few little piles. So have we got any 1 to 50s? No. Any 50 to 100s? Yes. So we got 53, 54. We got 64 as well. To 68. Okay, and that's all of those ones. 100 to 150. Yep. Got 113. We've got 117 and 18, 19, 22, 23, 24, 25 to 38. That's all of those. Then we've got 175. One more left to do. So it takes what, 2 minutes to do this. So I don't think it's a big deal. And I think the sense of exploration that you get from not even knowing how far in any direction you can go, I think that is worth the hassle, I would say. Put the map card in the spare spot there and one there, so we know how much we've done. Yeah, I think it's worth the hassle of packing cards, putting them back in here, taking them out again. I don't think it takes that much time anyway. So I think it's okay. Anyway, there we go. We've done a few bits. We'll spend the night probably tomorrow in the next stream and see how our wild sleeping goes. So thanks for watching if you've watched it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.